Hey guild members, how's it going? I'm coming to you today for a quick announcement. A good friend of mine, Spenser Mehew of Cretaceous Cast, has a new short film project coming out on Halloween that I found awesome enough to let y'all in on. It's called Jurassic Park 1999. Jurassic Park 1999 is a passion project fan film. It's meant to take place between The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3. It helps fill the gap between these films and even connects to Jurassic World. It follows an InGen raptor expert on Isla Sorna, who has to get off the island when InGen's new assets escape due to fiery sabotage. The main character meets many roadblocks on his way out, but you'll have to watch the film to find out what those are. Jurassic Park 1999 stars Spenser Mehew as the main protagonist. Spenser is a lifelong Jurassic Park fan and undergrad paleontology student. The short film also stars Alan Cross as the villain, who helped with the production of the project. Clay Bowen was the cinematographer and Spenser's brother Jackson assisted. I mocked up some fake dinosaur profiles which show up in the film and created the logo. This short film places emphasis on horror, suspense, and the unseen. Both CGI and practical effects were used to enhance the story. Spenser Mehew made the practical raptor head puppet, and Angry Gal Sarah did the animation for the dinosaurs in the short. It was filmed in Larkspur, Colorado, to capture the forest setting of Isla Sorna. What made you want to make this film?
The reason I wanted to make this movie is because I'm just a huge Jurassic Park fan. I mean, to say the least. That's an understatement. Jurassic Park has been an important part of my life since the beginning. I don't even remember the first time I saw it. And it's just been kind of hand in hand with my love for dinosaurs, because when I go to see a Jurassic Park movie, I feel like it's the only place I get to see dinosaurs alive, particularly the original trilogy. I mean, I love Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom, but I feel like with the original trilogy, the dinosaurs seem more real, and I'll get into that later. But, yeah. And with this movie, I kind of wanted to try to bring dinosaurs to life in my own way. I've always experimented with filmmaking with my friends, and I just really wanted to try to enter this world and I make my own take on it, I guess. And I figured it'd be kind of cool to fill in the gap between The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3, because that space is kind of, there's a lot going on there. There's a big time jump. Well, it's not necessarily a big time jump, but there's a lot of weird stuff going on between those movies. I mean, Jurassic Park 3 almost, where the hell did the Spinosaurus come from? What about those raptors? And yeah, I figured I could do a cool movie with that.
As a paleontology student, how do you feel this film affects your work?
I don't know. We'll see. I honestly want to see later down in the future if I can somehow integrate filmmaking with paleontology. I put a lot of my heart and soul into this movie, especially with my passion in paleontology. And basically, if you can tell, I mean, it's only 10 minutes long. But the thing I put behind this was that I have this passion for something so beautiful that existed such a long time ago, in kind of a really dark world that doesn't care about that. It doesn't care about that at all. And so this movie's kind of about that passion within that darkness, if that makes sense. So that's kind of how I integrated my career with this movie. Because my career to me is not just like a career. Dinosaurs are just such this beautiful thing to me that just words can't describe how just awesome those things were.
Which do you prefer, practical effects or computer-generated effects?
Now, I absolutely prefer practical effects over CGI. I just feel like they hit more because they look real. And, you know, as I mentioned earlier, that's why I like the original Jurassic Park trilogy so much. The dinosaurs seemed real there because they were real. But the CGI was integrated so well with the original trilogy because it was when you couldn't use practical effects. And you cannot use practical effects for everything. I mean, you can't have a running T-Rex animatronic. I mean, you probably, well, you could with a rod puppet, but I do think it looks better with CGI in that context. However, you know, there are always, you know, extenuating circumstances, like there's some really good stop motion out there, some that you've shown me. But yeah, I mean, I tried to make a cool practical effect for my movie. It's a raptor. I might do a video on that. But the CGI for this movie, I feel like it saved it. Thank you, Sarah, if you're watching this. Thank you for your help. I really think that this movie would not have been good if it wasn't for the CGI in it.
Best practical effects, go.
Okay, so best practical effects. Now I'm gonna pick a single practical effect and then the overall film that I think had the best practical effects. Obviously, I'm gonna choose one of these to be Jurassic Park. I feel like the T-Rex in the original Jurassic Park, nothing has ever replicated the magic of that. I mean, nothing. If you look at the Stan Winston footage behind the scenes, it's like eating a piece of foam or something. It looks alive. It looks like a zoo animal. It's just amazing. And I mean, like, to the point it was so alive that on the set it would come back to life because of the rain. And like, the rain made it glitch out, and like the T-Rex, while they're in between takes, it just like jolt up. And that is just, you can't do that. You can't make that these days anymore. It's just beautiful. But the movie with the overall best practical effects would be John Carpenter's The Thing. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. If you've seen the movie, they're very powerful, terrifying. There's something about it that psychologically messes you up. And that's why I love them so much. And they're so versatile in their movements. So yeah, if you haven't seen The Thing, please, if you're any of you guys watching this video, if you haven't seen The Thing, please, God, watch it.
What specific field of paleontology do you wish to go into?
I'm still trying to figure that out. I definitely want to work with tyrannosaurs. My plan is, if it works out, kind of sit in like a office or something, or collections. I just want to kind of like measure bones and stuff and like compare them and like see what species are what and not, and write papers. I don't know, that just sounds like fun to me. I would like to go into the field more and get to explore the world. And yeah, I prep fossils and stuff. I like prepping fossils.
How do you think filmmaking might help you in your pursuit of paleontology?
How would my filmmaking help me with my pursuit of paleontology? Now, I would like to make kind of like documentaries. Like my goal is to like maybe make little videos on maybe a certain place, like a museum. I've got a couple videos I'm working on, like I've been working on them for ages, but so I got some stuff like that. And I would like to make videos on dinosaurs, like small ones, and I really want to make more practical effects. Like I really want to find out how to get good at making practical effects. I've got a couple of the Stan Winston School for Character Arts tapes, so I'm gonna watch those and start working on stuff and see where that goes. Basically, I think I could make educational movies for paleontology. That is the overall punchline for my answer.
Do you work for a museum?
I work with the Denver Museum of Nature and Science, technically, but, you know, I just started prepping there at their labs just before COVID, so, and they haven't let us volunteers back into the behind-the-scenes labs since then. So I only got to work there for a couple weeks, but hopefully after this whole pandemic thing eventually ends, I can go back.
What's your favorite dinosaur?
My favorite dinosaur is T-Rex. Haters gonna hate.